Look at yourself in the mirror tonight. Take a good long look. What you're seeing isn't just a reflection. It's the face of someone about to make history. Your personal history. The greatest comeback story ever told. Let me tell you about Sarah. 2 years ago, Sarah sat in her car outside her office, hands shaking, tears streaming down her face. After 12 years of dedication, countless late nights, and sacrificing time with her family, her company had replaced her with someone younger, someone who cost less. Her boss, the same person who had praised her work for over a decade, couldn't even look her in the eye when he told her. She felt worthless, cast aside, forgotten. That same Sarah now runs her own consulting firm, making 3 times her previous salary, working with Fortune 500 companies. But more importantly, she walks with her head held high, knowing something profound. Being let go was the best thing that ever happened to her. It forced her to discover her true worth. You're here because someone walked away. Someone decided you weren't enough, and right now that pain feels like it's burning a hole right through your chest. But I'm here to tell you something that's going to change every pain you're feeling. It's not your enemy, it's your rocket fuel. I've spent decades studying success and human potential, and I can tell you with absolute certainty, being undervalued is often the first step to becoming invaluable. Every single day, I receive letters from people who thought their world was ending when someone walked away. Today, those same people are writing to thank me because that rejection turned out to be the best gift they ever received. Think about a diamond for a moment. Do you know what creates a diamond? Pressure. Intense, unforgiving pressure. That's exactly what's happening to you right now. You're not being broken. You're being transformed. Let me tell you a truth that most people never understand. People don't leave you because you're not enough. They leave because they're not enough. They leave because they can't recognize value when it's right in front of them. Just like a child might trade a $1,000 bill for a shiny quarter. Some people trade away gold because they don't understand what they're holding. Most folks walk around with price tags written by other people. Their parents wrote a number, their friends adjusted it, their past relationships marked it down, and their fears kept reducing it. But here's the magnificent truth. You're not a product on a shelf. You're a rare commodity, and your value increases with every challenge you overcome, every skill you master, every storm you weather. When someone walks away from you, they're showing you their limitations, not yours. They're telling you about their inability to recognize worth, their fear of being outshined, their own inner battles. It has nothing to do with your value and everything to do with their vision. But here's where it gets interesting. Nature has a wonderful way of clearing your path. Sometimes it uses people walking away to make room for better opportunities. It's like a garden. Certain plants need to be removed before better ones can grow. That person leaving your life, they're making space for something magnificent. You might not see it yet, but there's a blessing wrapped in this pain. When someone undervalues you, they give you the greatest gift possible, the opportunity to discover your true worth. It's like being pushed out of a comfortable cave, only to discover there's an entire world waiting outside. Every great success story you've ever heard, behind almost everyone, there's a moment of rejection, a time when someone said no, when someone walked away. Walt Disney was fired for lacking imagination. Steve Jobs was kicked out of his own company. Oprah was told she wasn't fit for television. Today, their names are synonymous with success. The truth about loss is that it's often a redirect, not an ending. It's life's way of saying, you've outgrown this situation. Time to move up. When you understand this, really understand it deep in your bones, rejection loses its sting. It becomes what it truly is. A promotion in disguise. Your worth isn't measured by who stays or who leaves. It's measured by who you become in the face of these challenges. Every person who walks away is unknowingly pushing you closer to your destiny. They're not ending your story. They're ending their chapter in it. And believe me, the chapters ahead are going to be far more exciting than the ones behind you. Let me tell you something remarkable that happens when someone walks away from you. Something that most people never notice because they're too busy nursing their wounds. There's a moment, sometimes just a split second, when a sleeping giant inside you begins to stir. That giant is your inner power, and it's about to change everything. We humans are fascinating creatures. We often don't realize our true strength until we're forced to use it. It's like those stories you hear about mothers lifting cars to save their children, or daring people discovering extraordinary strength in moments of necessity. Your moment is now. What's happening inside you right now? That pain you're feeling, it's not just hurt. It's energy, pure, raw, powerful energy. And you got to decide how to use it. Most people waste this energy. They spend it on anger, on regret, on trying to understand why someone left. But the truly successful, the ones who transform their lives, they do something different. They take that same energy and redirect it into building themselves. Let me paint you a picture of what's possible. Every morning when you wake up, you have a choice. You can either roll over and let the weight of rejection press you down, or you can stand up and press back. Starting today, you go and press back. You're going to take every ounce of energy you've been spending on them and invest it in yourself. Instead of checking their social media, you're going to check online courses that interest you. Instead of replaying old conversations in your head, you're going to plan your future. Instead of wondering why they left, you're going to make them wonder why they ever dared to. Here's your new blueprint for success. Every single day, you're going to do 3 things. Learn something new, strengthen something existing, and plan something exciting. It doesn't matter how small these steps are. What matters is that you're moving forward, building momentum. Remember this, external validation is like a candle. It flickers, it wavers, and eventually it burns out. But internal validation, that's like the sun. It's constant, it's powerful, and it comes from within. Starting today, you're going to be your own sun. You're going to light your own path. You might be thinking, but how do I believe in myself when someone else didn't? Here's the truth. The disbelief in you is their limitation, not yours. Think about it. How many people didn't believe in electricity until it lit up their homes? How many people didn't believe in flight until they saw a plane soar overhead? Their disbelief didn't change what was possible. It just revealed their own inability to see potential. Your potential is like a muscle. The more you work it, the stronger it gets. Every time you choose self-improvement over self-pity, you're doing a rep. Every time you choose action over anger, you're getting stronger. Every time you choose to believe in yourself, despite someone else's doubt, you're building power. Start creating your success blueprint right now. Take out a piece of paper. On one side, write down everything you've wanted to do, but held back on because of others. On the other side, write down who you want to become. Not for them, for you. This isn't a wish list. It's your transformation manifest. Here's what's going to happen as you follow this blueprint. First, you'll notice small changes. You'll catch yourself standing taller. You'll find yourself speaking with more confidence. You'll start making decisions without wondering what others would think. These are signs that your inner power is awakening. Then bigger changes will come. Opportunities will start appearing almost as if the universe is responding to your new energy. People will treat you differently, not because you're demanding it, but because you're expecting it. Success will start feeling not just possible, but inevitable. Remember this, the power to transform your life has always been within you. That person who left, they didn't take anything from you that you can't rebuild stronger. They didn't dim your light. They just help you discover that you can shine on your own. Your inner power isn't something you need to create. It's something you need to unleash, and sometimes it takes someone walking away to create the space you need to spread your wings. So spread them. It's time to fly. Let me share something fascinating about success and rejection that I've observed over decades of studying human achievement. Every truly successful person I've ever met, studied, or interviewed has one thing in common. They've all been rejected, often multiple times, before their breakthrough. What is what makes them different? They understand something that most people don't. Successful people don't just handle rejection, they transform it. They use it like a master craftsman uses a chisel. Every hit that would break ordinary stone instead reveals the masterpiece within. They know a secret that I'm about to share with you. A principle so powerful it can change your entire life. Rejection is not a statement about your value. It's an opportunity to increase your value. Let me tell you about Robert. Robert worked in sales for 15 years. One day, his biggest client, who represented 60 of his business, left him for a competitor. Instead of panicking, instead of begging them to stay, instead of offering desperate discounts, Robert did something remarkable. He sat down and wrote 2 essays, one of everything he could learn from losing this client, and another of everything he could do to become better than he'd ever been. 6 months later, Robert had not only replaced that client, and he had 3 new ones, each bigger than the original. Why? Because he understood this principle. Success isn't about holding on to what you have. It's about becoming more than you are. Here's how you build unshakable confidence. First, to understand that confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, brick by brick, achievement by achievement. Start small. Set a goal for today, something challenging but achievable. Then do it. Tomorrow, set another one. Do this every day for a month, and watch what happens to your self-image. Most people make the mistake of trying to build confidence through comparison, looking better than others, achieving more than others, being chosen over others. But true confidence, the kind that can't be shaken by rejection, comes from one place only, knowing that no matter what happens, you can handle it and grow from it. To bamboo tree for a moment. For 4 years after being planted, you see nothing but a tiny shoot. During those years, it's building an elaborate root system underground. Then, the 5th year, it grows up to 90 feet in just 6 weeks. Your confidence is built the same way. Through unseen preparation that creates unshakable foundations, making yourself irreplaceable. Most people try to become irreplaceable by doing their job well. But here's the truth. Doing your job well is the minimum requirement. To become truly irreplaceable, you need to become the solution to problems your organization doesn't even know it has yet. What problems exist in your field that nobody is solving? What skills will be needed in your industry 5 years from now? What value can you create that can't be easily replicated? Your answers to these questions are your roadmap to becoming irreplaceable. Here's a practical exercise I want you to do tonight. Take out a piece of paper and draw 3 columns. In the first column, write down every skill you currently have. In the second column, write down every skill you could reasonably develop in the next 6 months. In the third column, write down the problems these combined skills could solve. This is your value proposition blueprint. But here's where most people stop. They make the list and feel good about it. Don't do that. Instead, start working on those skills today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Here's another secret of successful people. They don't wait for opportunities to become qualified. They become qualified and then opportunities appear. Remember this. The marketplace pays for value, not for time. Your salary, your success, your opportunities, they're all directly tied to the value you can provide. The person who left you, they just gave you the motivation to increase your value exponentially. Let me share another principle that successful people understand. Specialization is good, but combination is better. Become excellent at 2 or 3 complementary skills, and you'll be more valuable than someone who's just world-class at one. A great programmer who can also communicate well is worth more than a brilliant programmer who can't explain their work. Your confidence will grow naturally as you develop these skills and abilities. But here's the key. You're not developing them to prove anything to anyone else. You're developing them because that's who you're becoming. That's your new standard for yourself. Success leaves clues, and one of the biggest clues is this. Successful people are always preparing for opportunities, not waiting for them. While others watch television, they read. While others complain, they create. While others make excuses, they make progress. Your new success principle is simple but powerful. Every rejection is a redirect to something better, but only if you use it as fuel for growth rather than an excuse for retreat. Every is an opportunity to become so good, they can't ignore you, so valuable, they can't replace you, so essential, they can't function without you. By the time you become that valuable, you won't want to go back. You'll have outgrown the very situation you thought you couldn't live without. That's the real success principle. Growing so much that your old goals become stepping stones to something far greater. Now we're going to talk about something exciting. Your growth phase. This isn't just about getting better. It's about becoming someone new entirely. The person who was left behind, that person is about to transform into someone remarkable. Let me give you the exact blueprint for this transformation. First, you need to understand something crucial. Growth isn't a Sunday activity. It's a daily commitment. Every single day, you're either growing or you're dying. There's no middle ground. Starting today, you're choosing growth. Here's your daily power hour routine. Wake up 1 hour earlier than usual. Spend the first 20 minutes reading something that adds to your knowledge, like the news, not social media, but real, substantial material that builds your expertise. The next 20 minutes, write down your goals and plans. Be specific. The final 20 minutes, take action on one small thing that moves you forward. Let me tell you about William. After his partner left him for someone more successful, William didn't just get sad. He got strategic. He looked at successful people in his field and noticed them. They all had skills he didn't have. Instead of feeling sorry for himself, he made a list of these skills. Then he did something remarkable. He started learning one new skill every month. In the first month, he learned public speaking. In the second month, basic digital marketing. By month 6, he had 6 new valuable skills. Within a year, he had doubled his income. But here's the interesting part. By then, he wasn't even thinking about his ex-partner anymore. He was too busy growing. Transformation needs 3 elements: education, appellate, and evaluation. Most people focus on just 1 or 2. They learn but don't apply, or they apply but never evaluate their results. You're going to do all 3 every single week. Here's your weekly schedule. Monday through Friday, spend 1 hour learning something new in your field. It could be through online courses, books, or mentorship. But here's the key. Immediately after learning, spend 30 minutes applying what you just learned. No exceptions. On Sunday evening, evaluate your progress and plan the next week, building new skills strategically. Don't just learn random things. Look for skills that complement each other. If you're in sales, don't just learn better closing techniques. Learn psychology. Learn body language. Learn storytelling. When you combine these skills, you become not just better. You become different. You become unique. Create what I call a skills triangle. At the top, put your core skill, what you're already good at. At the 2 bottom corners, put 2 complementary skills that almost nobody in your field has mastered. For example, if you're a programmer, your triangle might have coding at the top, public speaking on one corner, and business strategy on the other. Master all 3, and you've just made yourself irreplaceable. Your unique value proposition isn't just what you can do. It's what you can do that others can't. It's not about being better. It's about being different. Start thinking about your unique combination of skills, experiences, and insights. What problems can you solve that others don't even recognize? Write down every problem you've overcome in your life, every challenge you faced, every obstacle you've conquered. These aren't just memories. They're credentials. They're proof of your resilience, your adaptability, your strength. Now think about how these experiences give you unique insights into helping others overcome similar challenges. Your growth phase isn't just about adding new skills. It's about becoming a new person entirely. Every morning when you wake up, ask yourself, what can I learn today that will make yesterday's version of me obsolete? That's the mindset of constant growth. Let me share a secret about personal transformation that most people miss. It's not about massive changes. It's about small, consistent improvements. If you improve just 1 every day, in 1 year you'll be 37 times better. That's the power of compound growth. Start tracking your progress. Keep a journal, not just about what you're learning, but about who you're becoming. Write down your insights, your breakthroughs, your failures, and what you learned from them. This isn't just record keeping. It's evidence of your transformation. Here's another powerful practice. Find someone who's where you want to be and study them. Not just their success, but their habits, their thinking patterns, their daily routines. Success leaves clues, but you have to be observant enough to spot them and humble enough to follow them. Create what I call a value calendar. At the start of each month, write down 1 valuable skill you're going to master. Break that skill down into weekly learning objectives. Then break those down into daily actions. This turns your growth from a vague goal into a concrete plan. Remember this, the person who left you had a ceiling on what they thought you could become. But that ceiling wasn't real, it was just their limitation. Your potential is far greater than anyone else's perception of you. Your growth is limited only by your willingness to learn and your commitment to apply what you learn. Your transformation isn't just about getting better. It's about becoming different. Better can be compared, different can't. When you become truly different, truly unique, you become irreplaceable. Not just to one person or one company, but to the marketplace itself. The growth phase you're entering now isn't just about healing from a loss. It's about transcending it entirely. By the time you finish this transformation, you won't just be better than you were. You'll be different than you ever imagined you could be. Something that's going to happen. It's as predictable as the sunrise. When you follow everything we've discussed, when you transform yourself, when you start radiating success, they're going to try to come back. It's what I call the return effect, and you need to be prepared for it. Success is like a magnet. It doesn't just attract opportunities. It attracts people, including those who once walked away. Let me tell you why this happens. When people see you rising, succeeding, transforming, it forces them to question their decision to leave. They start to wonder if they made a mistake, and many of them will try to return. Let me tell you about Patricia. After her partner of 8 years left her for someone else, she didn't chase or beg. Instead, she poured herself into building her own business. She lost 30 pounds, not from depression, but from dedication to her health. She traveled, learned new skills, made new friends. 1 year later, her ex came back, full of apologies and promises. You know what Patricia did? She smiled, wished him well, and walked away. Why? Because she understood something profound. She wasn't the same person he left. She had become someone new, someone stronger, someone who knew her worth. Here's what you need to understand about success is revenge. True revenge isn't about hurting someone else. It's about healing yourself so completely that the person who hurt you becomes irrelevant to your story. Success isn't just the best revenge. It's the only revenge worth having. When they come back, you'll face a crucial moment of truth. This moment isn't about them. It's about you. It's about standing firm in your new power. Remember, you're not the person they left anymore. That person doesn't exist. They're trying to return to a version of you that you've outgrown. A butterfly for a moment, once it transforms, it can never go back to being a caterpillar. That's you now. You've transformed. Going back would be like a butterfly trying to squeeze back into its cocoon. Not only is it impossible, it's not even desirable. Here's what's going to happen. They'll notice your change. They'll see your confidence, your success, your growth. They'll try to reconnect. Maybe through social media, maybe through mutual friends, maybe directly. When this happens, you need to remember one crucial truth. Their renewed interest isn't about your worth. It's about their regret. Let me give you a practical tool for handling their return. I call it the 3-question test. When they try to come back, ask yourself these questions. Has this person grown as much as I have since we parted? Would going backward serve my forward momentum? Does this person fit into the future I'm building? If the answer to any of these questions is no, then your answer to them should be no. Your success isn't just about money or achievements. It's about becoming someone who can't be manipulated by the past, someone who makes decisions based on where they're going, not where they've been. Your success is your shield, your sword, and your crown all in one. When they see your success, they might try to diminish it. They might say you've changed, that you're not the person they knew. Your response should be simple. Thank you for noticing. Because you have changed, you've grown, you've evolved, and that's something to be proud of. Standing firm in your new power isn't about being cruel or cold. It's about being clear. Clear about your worth, clear about your boundaries, clear about your future. You don't need to be unkind. You just need to be unmoved. Remember this. The person who tries to return is not offering you a second chance. They're asking you for one, and you're under no obligation to give it. Your life is not a revolving door for people who only value you when you're thriving. Here's what real power looks like. Being able to look at someone who once meant everything to you and realize they no longer fit into your life. Not with anger, not with bitterness, but with a calm understanding that you've outgrown that chapter. Your success story isn't about them anymore. It's about you. Every achievement, every step forward, every goal reached, these belong to you. They're not weapons to hurt others. They're tools that built your new life. When you reach this level of success, when you've truly transformed, you'll realize something amazing. That their return doesn't flatter you anymore. It puzzles you, because you'll wonder why you ever thought you needed their validation in the first place. This is what I want you to understand about the return effect. It's not the climax of your story. It's just a footnote. By the time they come back, you'll be too busy writing new chapters to be interested in revisiting old ones. Your new power isn't in your ability to reject them. It's in your ability to choose yourself, to look at what you've built, what you've become, and know with absolute certainty that you're not trading your masterpiece for someone else's rough draft. Stand firm in this truth. You are not a backup plan. You are not a safe option. You are not someone's second choice. You are the main character in your story, and you get to decide who plays a part in it. Let me tell you about your future. Not the future you're afraid of, not the future you're settling for, but the magnificent future that's waiting for you. The future that started taking shape the moment someone walked away. Because that moment, as painful as it was, wasn't an ending. It was your beginning. Picture yourself 1 year from now. You're standing taller, smiling more confidently, achieving things you once thought impossible. But here's what's most interesting. You're not thinking about who left anymore. You're too busy living a life so good that it feels like that chapter happened to someone else. Let me share something powerful with you. Your future isn't a place you're going to. It's a place you're creating. Right now, with every decision you make, every action you take, you're laying the foundation for that future. Think of yourself as an architect, and your life is your greatest masterpiece. Here are your blueprint steps for this magnificent future. First, write down your perfect day. Not a good day, not a better day. Your perfect day. Be specific. What time you wake up? Who are you spending time with? What impact are you making? This isn't a dream. It's your new target. Next, break this perfect day down into what I call achievement units. These are specific, measurable steps that move you toward that vision. If your perfect day includes running a successful business, your achievement units might include learning about business planning, building industry connections, developing necessary skills. Now, here's where most people go wrong. They try to achieve everything at once. Don't do that. Instead, use what I call the power hour system. Every day, dedicate one focused hour to your future. During this hour, work on one achievement unit. No distractions, no excuses, no compromises. The power of staying true to yourself isn't about stubbornness. It's about alignment. Every decision you make should align with your future vision. Ask yourself, does this choice move me closer to my perfect day or further from it? Make this your daily compass. Let me tell you about Marcus. After his business partner betrayed him and left with their biggest clients, Marcus didn't spiral into bitterness. Instead, he sat down and wrote what he called his future story. In this story, he wasn't the victim of betrayal. He was the hero of innovation. He didn't just rebuild. He revolutionized his entire industry. 2 years later, Marcus had created something his former partner couldn't copy. A unique business model that attracted clients his old company couldn't even approach. But here's what's fascinating. By then, the betrayal didn't matter anymore. He was too focused on his future to be anchored by his past. Your magnificent future requires what I call the 3 commitments. The commitment to grow. Learn something new every single day. The commitment to action. Take one step towards your goals every day, no matter how small. Your commitment to vision. Review and refine your perfect day vision every morning. It's a practical tool I want you to easy. Create a future evidence journal. Every night, write down one piece of evidence that you're moving toward your magnificent future. It could be a skill you improved, a connection you made, a fear you overcame. This isn't just record keeping. It's proof that you're becoming unstoppable. Your future isn't limited by your past unless you choose to carry that past with you. The person who left you, they didn't write the end of your story. They just finished their chapter in it. You're the author now, and the best chapters are still to come. Your magnificent future isn't about proving anything to day one. It's about proving to yourself that you are always capable of extraordinary things. It's about becoming someone who doesn't need external validation because your internal compass is so strong, so clear, so unshakable. Here's what's going to happen as you follow these steps. First, you'll notice small changes. You'll catch yourself smiling more. You'll find yourself excited about possibilities instead of worried about problems. You'll start attracting people who match your new energy, your new vision, your new standards. Then bigger changes will come. Opportunities will appear that you couldn't have imagined before. Success will start feeling natural, expected, deserved. And one day, you'll realize something amazing. The life you're living is better than the life you were afraid of losing. Stay true to yourself doesn't mean staying the same. It means growing into the person you were always meant to be. It means setting standards that honor your potential, not your past. It means creating a future so bright that it makes your past look like preparation, not pain. Your magnificent future is calling you. It's calling you to be bigger than your setbacks, stronger than your disappointments, more resilient than your rejections. It's calling you to become someone who doesn't just survive loss, but thrives because of it. Remember, this revenge isn't getting even. It's getting ahead. It's building a life so magnificent that running into the person who left becomes nothing more than a reminder of how far you've come. Your time is now. Your future is waiting. Don't just step into it, create it. Build it. Own it. Make it so magnificent that it becomes an inspiration for others who are where you once were. Because in the end, this isn't just about moving on. It's about moving up, about creating a life so extraordinary that you don't just forget the pain of rejection. You're thankful for it. Because without that rejection, you might never have discovered just how magnificent your future could be. Stand tall, dream big, work hard. Your magnificent future isn't just possible, it's inevitable. Because you're not just healing, you're transforming. You're not just surviving, you're revolutionizing. You're not just moving on, you're moving up to levels you never dreamed possible. Your future is calling. Answer it with everything you've got. Show the world what happens when someone chooses to turn pain into power, rejection into rebirth, and loss into legacy. Your magnificent future awaits. Go claim it.